and welcome back to another episode of Career Stories. This is a podcast dedicated to the job market and created through a collaboration between Bocconi Career Services and Radio Bocconi. I am Francesca Nava from Bocconi Career Services.
Hello everyone, my name is Eugenio Serafini and I'm very happy to be here and to present you this podcast.
And together we'll take you on a journey to discover different professional roles, and we'll do that through the words and experiences of Bocconi alumni in senior manager positions. Today we're here with Sara Betteghella, Group Chief Sustainability Officer at OTB. Welcome Sara, it's a great pleasure to have you here.
Thank you very much for inviting me.
So, Sara, we always kick off by exploring the meaning of job titles. Could you tell us what it means to be Group Chief Sustainability Officer?
So I would like first of all to thank you for inviting me. And regarding my job title and my role, as Chief Sustainability Officer, I guide the definition of the sustainability strategy for the entire group that we propose to the Board of Directors that then approve the entire strategy, the goals, and then I propose the implementation plan regarding the single KPIs to be reached during the years. Because regarding sustainability, targets are long-term targets regarding both environmental and social aspects that are related to the entire group. And in each group there are different stakeholders, different kind of impacts, and it's a very interesting job because we also have the opportunity to work closely to all the different departments and colleagues. And every day we learn something more about the things that we do, from the products that we do, to the services, to the governance of the group. So it's a quite challenging but very different, let me say, job.
So you spoke about your job title, and you work in the fashion industry in the OTB group. What does OTB stand for, and what are the brands within the group?
So OTB stands for Only the Brave. That is the motto of our founder, Mr. Renzo Rosso, that has been always a brave person and a brave leader that try also to inspire all the people working within the group. And he started with diesel, that probably is the trademark also that is most common. But then also he acquired Marni, Jill Sander, Maison Margiela, Victor and Rolf, and we also have a minor stake in Amiri brand. Then there are two production hubs within the group that are Staff International and Brave Kid for adult and kids wear, related especially for the luxury brands within the group. And also we have another company that is called BVX, related to the metaverse and NFT world. So it's a very diverse and alternative, let me say, group compared to the other that are very also well established and bigger than us. But he always says that he would like to be the alternative to luxury and the alternative to the conventional. So that's why we are Only the Brave.
Thanks for this interesting overview.
As a student myself, I always hear, especially in recent years, about sustainability, about how important it is in corporate, and like Bocconi especially tries us to prepare into this world and tries to give us some knowledge about it. But my question for you, it's more about what you do on a daily basis, because I think sustainability it's a wide topic. And I would be very interested in understand like what you do every day, what are your responsibilities, skills that you apply, and just tell me about your typical day in your job.
So I have to admit that there is no typical day in sustainability, and that's the fascinating thing. So first of all, the most important thing is to have relationship towards the entire organization and with your colleagues. And for colleagues, I mean from the CEO to the product department, to the style office, to the logistic department, so very different stakeholders with very different backgrounds. So the ability and the capability to have relationship and to find a common vocabulary to talk together in order to understand better how each department could reach their own goals in order to reach the higher and bigger, let me say, targets that the group has set itself is part of my daily job. Regarding the activities that we usually carry out, it depends on the period of the year. For example, now we are developing the sustainability report, so we need to gather a lot of data and of course also stress our colleagues to give us all the data that are also in connection with the financial statements, so it's not that easy. But on the other side and on the other hand, we develop, I'm working in the fashion industry, so we develop together with the style and product team also the collection, so how to diminish the impact of the collection, and we start 1.5 years in advance compared to the moment where the products are sold into the market. And depending also on the priorities that you have in your strategy, all the activities are set and priorities are also reviewed on a let me say periodical basis, depending also on what's happening outside the company and within the company.
Well, I'm sure that's really interesting, and it's not easy to explain it in a couple of words, but I can see the wideness of your role, so thank you so much.
So, Sara, you described a high degree of complexity and mentioned several colleagues, department, teams, and different stakeholders within the group. How do you keep everyone engaged in the sustainability conversation?
So, keep everyone involved into the sustainability journey is not easy, as you said. So together with my team, we work every day in order to keep our, let me say, ear and also eyes open towards the needs of our colleagues and to better understand which are the reasons behind their decisions in order also to make things happen towards also the most difficult ones. So I think that first of all, and what I promoted from the beginning of my role as sustainability manager, is training people. So give them the right knowledge in order to understand why we are asking something, why we need to do something. And it's not up to the sustainability team, but it's something that we need to do together because it's a commitment of the company overall to reach specific goals. So having a common vocabulary and also understanding each other better and unsiloing the company was one of the challenges and the challenge that we still have, even if we have reached a lot of good results, I think, and also try also to keep people welcome in talking about specific topics and be open also to know more about their job and how we could implement sustainability within their daily job. So of course you need also to create a good environment and to have the smile on your face. Sometimes it's very difficult. I have to admit myself that sometimes we found ourselves in challenging moments, but every time we try also to diminish the tension in some cases where we couldn't find an appropriate solution that meet both the needs of the departments.
Well, I looked you on LinkedIn and I know you started with the diesel brand in the law department, but I don't know the steps that you did in between, and I'm very curious to understand your story inside the group and how you evolved in your different positions.
So as you said before, I started working at Diesel within the legal department, and I was in charge of supporting many different departments like production, product, style, corporate governance and logistics. And started from there, I had my first, let me say, connection with sustainability issues. And I was, as I said before, curious about it. I decided also to study more about what sustainability meant, how we could treat those new issues that we needed to face in order also to dialogue with our clients, with our external stakeholders and also internal stakeholders. At a certain point, Mr. Rosso decided also to start a new, let me say, chapter and embarking in the approval of a sustainability strategy starting from Diesel. So I worked together with his son Andrea, that is the sustainability ambassador, and together we put in place the first sustainability strategy within the group, that was Diesel for Responsible Living. And after many months of work and I was within the legal department at that time, I've been requested also to take the new role of sustainability manager in Diesel. And it was a very big challenge, but also very interesting and very funny in some cases. And so I started working together with my colleagues in a different role, and it was quite challenging also because they saw you as your previous role, not the new one. So you need also to build up new relationships, new requests, a new way of communicating with them. And we did a very great job. It was a very teamwork job. It's not only myself. It's create teams, create a common sense of working together for the goals of the group, because Diesel is also a group with many also companies around the world. So we gain good results, I can say. And after some years, like 4 years, I've been requested also to take the role at group level. So with reference also to the other brands of the group, to guide the transition towards an integration of the sustainability within the business in the different companies of the group.
Well, another question that I have for you, it's something that relates decisions in life. And I think as students, we take decisions early on what to study, what direction our lives we want to take. And I think that there is this stigma of having this kind of locked direction in which you take a choice and you say, oh no, I will go on for this for the rest of my life, and I don't know if I can change, if I can do something else. And I think your story can help us. I have a bit of a spoiler, but I know that you started studying law, and then now you're doing something that is related but different in a way. And I want to hear about this change and what challenges did it bring on, and what are your takes on changes in jobs.
Well, thank you for the question. So first of all, when I started studying law, I was expected to be a lawyer for, let me say, not the rest of my life, but more or less it was the first decision that I had. But at the end of the day, what I could suggest to students is that for sure you need to make your first decision thinking about what your role should be or could be in your future, but also don't prevent you to make changes. The suggestion is also to be curious about what moves you and also the passion that you have in yourself, because I was not expecting at the beginning to become a sustainability manager first and then a chief sustainability officer. But when I was assisting internal departments within my experience as an in-house lawyer, then I started knowing about sustainability, and a passion became part of my daily life. So I decided also to pay myself a master in sustainability, because at that time I thought that in the future sustainability would be part of my life. So one of the challenges was also to combine my daily job, because of course you are a full-time job, your family needs, because at that time also I was already married with a daughter, so you need also to have the support of the people around you, but also to believe in yourself, even if someone could also tell you that, oh no, you could avoid because you know you have already a past and also a career behind you and your experience. But I think that at a certain point you feel within yourself that you could change. Of course, you need to take risks, but also moderated risks, and also find a way to do your best and also to feel yourself in the way that also are aligned with your values and your passion. So for me, for example, was the experience of being in love with laws and of course helping people to live within a legal framework, okay, and knowing how to behave and act. But when I started working on social topics, environmental topics, I understood that I needed to apply my knowledge with a different angle and also with a practical way. So also being closest to the business and knowing how to diminish the impact of the fashion industry where I was working and I'm still working in.
Well, I mean, this is super interesting and I think inspirational. And I guess myself in my life, I want to always say I have something new to learn and I want to learn every day. So thank you for this testimony. It's really inspiring.
Sara, going on speaking about your background, how do you think your legal studies have driven your approach to sustainability management?
Well, I think that having a legal background, of course, helped me in navigating the legal framework around sustainability due to the fact that the legislation is still ongoing, is still developing, and it's not that easy also matching the sustainability rules together with the business. So, of course, it helped me also in knowing a little bit more where to find the information and data, to support my colleagues in knowing what to do and what to avoid. But on the other hand, also identifying risks, because as a lawyer also I need to identify and help, at that time, help my clients to mitigate risk or avoid risks. And we are also talking about social and environmental risks when we talk about ESG aspects. And of course, for the communication side, so about avoiding greenwashing, so also understanding the weight of each single word that we use in communicating something helped me a lot. On the other hand, talking about sustainability, and in reality, sustainability should be integrated into the business. So sometimes I need to left behind my legal and sometimes rigid approach and to be more open to creative solutions and also to learn a lot more about how the business is going. And sometimes it does not allow to have so much time dedicated also to study, to go in deep in each single aspect. So you need also to be faster in taking decision and mitigating the pros and cons, so the trade-off between decisions. So I think that it gave me a lot of pro, and of course now I'm changing a little bit my approach in my professional life.
Great, thanks.
I'm gonna be super honest. During one of my internships, I had exposure to one ESG department that was really working with us on the job that I was doing. And the first thought that I had was, wow, I studied ESG and like topics relating to ESG, but I think I don't know enough about it to understand it fully. So I tell you this story because I want to ask you, what is the kind of skills and capabilities that you wanna see in young generations that want to approach this job and maybe want to work with you?
So thank you for the question, because it's a very interesting one. So first of all, I think that we never stop learning. So especially regarding sustainability, that implies a lot of aspects to be taken into account, and you need to study every day. So sometimes we don't have the right time to do it, but you need to be curious and to know that you are never arrived. And second, I think that curiosity, as I said before, and also patience, I think, and resilience, because with the passion within yourself about sustainability, you would like to do a lot more, but organizations are not always prepared to embrace a mindset change or an organizational change. So you need to give the time to yourself also to wait and see, and also stay next to the people that at the beginning might not have been your best friends or allies, but at the end of the day I also found myself with colleagues that helped me much more than expected once they realized exactly what was the aim of the job. So for sure, I think that the qualities that we need is a good preparation, first of all, so hard skills are the basics, so study and of course not limit yourself to your specific role. So what I appreciate more about my job is that I learned so much from colleagues or people coming from different backgrounds and departments. To mix and match with my background and my knowledge to find a way to diminish the impact of everything we do as a company, but also as individuals. So as a young professional, I also suggest you to try to learn from everyone and not have too much expectation in the short term. So also have a vision in the medium long term about your professional goals, but also within the environment you are working with, because you need to give time to the people to understand and also to come with you in the mission that probably you have understood before. But on the other hand, it's better to do together, because otherwise a single person can't do the change himself.
It's a long run game, and thank you for this insight.
And let's dive deep a bit into sustainability, because it has a pivotal role in today's world. What do you think are the main challenges that the fashion industry will have to face?
So regarding the challenges that we face in the fashion industry, so I think that as we know are both social and environmental. What I see is that first of all we need to work together, so both from the company side but also from consumer habits and also government, because the legal framework is not that easy to navigate. And on the other hand, the habits of consumers, so consumers are used also to wear something new, but they want them also to be lower impact, but we need also to promote resale or circular business models, but the market is not ready enough to change completely the business model. So of course we need to have a better awareness about the choices that we do every day as professionals, as individuals, and also when we are in position where we could make influence on the market. The second one is scalability, because of course there are problems about innovation to be applied at large scale that also could be done in different parts of the world, where also the environment from a social and environmental perspective itself and legislative one are very different. And you know, companies works in different countries, supply chain are located everywhere in the world, and also the products are sold in different countries. So the complexity is not that easy to overcome. And for sure, I think that once we realize that it's not a responsibility of only one person or one entity, but a common one, I think that we could also make the change.
And thanks, this is really much more complicated than one could imagine. But let me close, because we're near the end of the episode, let me close on a more personal angle with a more personal question. If you had a time machine and could go back in time, would you redo exactly the same things that you did, or is there something that you would like to change?
Well, I think that when you get to a certain place or a certain moment of your life, probably things should have gone in that way. But if I could turn back time, probably if I also could give a suggestion to young professionals, is to make experience abroad to enlarge your point of view, because I didn't have that opportunity, so I had only one opportunity, and so I got it just after the graduation, and due to the fact that I needed also to do the exam at the bar of Milan, so of course I stayed in Italy and blah blah and so on and so forth. But turning back time, I think that also having different kind of experience when you are younger could also help you in developing a different mindset and openness to the world that we are facing, that is more interconnected, and that's the only thing that I would change. On the other aspects, I think that I'm happy as I am now.
Amazing, and thank you so much for sharing your insights with us. So we've come to the end of the episode, and before saying goodbye, a very final tip to our students.
Well, I think that for a student it's really important to be positive, be reactive to what's happening, be curious, as I said many times before, but I think that being also able to take inspiration also from other people, not strictly related to what you do, might help you in your professional life and also in your daily life.
Sara, huge thanks, and thank you to you, Eugenio.
Thank you so much. It was super interesting, and I think I'm fascinated with the topic and with this story that you told us. And I think at home people will agree with me.
Thank you for inviting me, and it's been a pleasure being here with both of you.
And thank you so much to all of our listeners, and do not miss the next episode of Career Stories. Bye.
Bye.